Hi, this is Jamil Arewa again. Today I want to talk about row context calculation. So don't forget that as one of your job as a data analyst is data optimization. That is, you always make sure that your data is very easy and fast for Power BI to load, and then as a result, your workflow will be faster and easier. So the work of context calculation is to help you do that. Many people don't know about this because they lack the knowledge of DAX. So I'm going to head on now to Power BI. I'm already on Power BI now. So the thing I'm going to do now is under these sales, we have quantity and unit price, but we don't have the total sales, which is supposed to be quantity multiplied by unit price. So the way most people usually do it is that they'll create a new column for the total sales by going for transform data, Power Query. So as you can see, like I said, it is the long process, right? It's going to take time to load, and then I'll come to sales, then I'll add column, custom column, add custom column. I will name my custom column as sales total. Okay. The name of the table itself is sales. I don't want to make it that. Total sales. And then I will say quantity multiplied by unit price. So if I say okay, then my total sales will be here, right? So there's something I want to wait for it to load. There's something I need to show you. So by default, it will come as an alphanumeric data. You can see A, B, C up and 1, 2, 3 above. Unlike this one that is numerical and this one that is decimal. So let me just load this, close and load. So what I'm going to do now, let me wait for it to load. As you can see, I always have to wait for it to load every time. So it's going to take a little time and load. Don't forget that this process of loading, it doesn't matter what the specification of your laptop is. It's going to take this same amount of time to load, depending on the size of your data. So now I have the total sales here. So I want to get the sum, because as you can see in the Power Query earlier, it came as a column, right? I want to get the sum of that column total sales. So what I will do is under sales here, I'll go for new measure, then I will name that as sum of total, right? Equals sum of total sales here, close the brackets, and then I'll commit, right? Then I want to use card to show the uh, sum of total. As you can see, it says error fetching data. If I decide to see the details, it says the function sum cannot work with values of type string. So the problem is that my calculation came naturally as what? As alphanumeric. So what I'm going to do, I'll go back to Power Query now, and then as you can see, it's taking me a long time. It always has to load and load. So I'll go back to Power Queries to the sales table, and then I will change the data type of this one to decimal number. Then I'll load it again. So just have to be patient for it to load. And after loading, you can see the sum of the total is what is 1 million. But instead of all this loading and changing of this and that, there is other way of doing it that doesn't require me to go to Power Query and to add. Remember, in the optimization, it is always better for you to use quick measure, right? Calculated like this, like yes, quick measure like calculated uh, measure rather than adding column to your data, because the more column your data has and the more row your data has, the more time it will be taken to load every time. So now I've done the long one, so now I'm going to do the faster one. The one I'm going to create a measure that is going to calculate the unit price here and the quantity. It's going to calculate them based on row by row context, right? It will calculate quantity in row one and unit price in row one, and then it will sum them. It will do everything and sum them together. That is the use of this row context calculation. Now under the sales, the same sales table, I'll just say new measure, right? And the okay, let's just say total. Let's name this one total. Total equals, the function for doing that is sum x here. So I will just say, so the table I'm using is sales here, then comma, then I'll say quantity, quantity, right, multiply by unit price, right? Then I'll say, I'll close the brackets and then commit it, right? We have total here. Let me bring another card visual. So to display that, I'll just put it, as you can see, it is the same, uh, it is the same measure. So this is one of the ways you can make your work easier on Power BI. Remember, optimization is is one of the most important tasks as a data analyst. You need to know all these tricks so that your Power BI will not be loading too slow. This data has very limited number of rows and column, but still it was still dragging. Assuming you are now having millions of data. So you can imagine how frustrating it's going to be. So thank you very much.